Welcome one and all, Love Them Knives channel. We are going to talk about the Steel Will Screamer. It comes in different colors, but I like the blue, and it has a red backspacer and a pocket clip that goes left hand and right hand. See these two screws? And that. So you can swap it around, right and left hand. In fact, and let's get to that, because when I was at the SHOT Show 2020 and was talking to Tommaso, he was saying we actually give you another pocket clip for the other side. So, and they're doing that on several of their models, by the way. And here's the paperwork you get from Steel Will, which, you know, gives you a little information. This is the Urban Series knife, etc. Not much beyond that, but pocket clip. Yes, it's nice to get that. Good little extra to have in the box for these left-handed people out there. But these are fun boxes, by the way. At least they're pretty structural. And yeah, good looking knife. Of course, D2, they're still on the D2 train. There's bearings on this one, so let's kick it over. And it's got a little bit of late kick there. You got to get back here to get it over that detent ball, because there it is. It hangs right there. And by that time, it's almost touched your thumb if you're up here. So you got to let it drop a little further. And then it's over there. You can middle finger flick it, that kind of thing. So it has multiple opening options. Thumb flick, finger flick, flipper tab. Detent, it's appropriate. It's, you know, it's not real weak. It's not super strong. I can fail it, but pretty lazy flip will kick it right out there. So that's pretty nice. Check out the blue G10, you know, and yet it's made in China. Kind of in the past, a lot of the G10 knives were made in Italy. That was, and then the, you know, cut jack modus and stuff like that were like an FRN type scale. But these are G10, aluminum backspacer. So pretty nice. I like the design. I like these cutaways here in the scales. I think that looks good. I'm not sure it really necessarily gives you more grip, but I think you get some style points out of it. And we will take this one apart, by the way. But, you know, a satin D2 blade, piercing, slicing. Let's see if we can do a bit of that. I got some ratty paper out here on the patio. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's sharp. No question about that. Throw that away, buddy. Now, it's not a big knife, but it's not a small knife. And if you want the specs, well, go White Mountain Knives and grab you one of these little puppies for 63 smackers, except 10% LTK discount code. LTK is the discount code. Get you 10% off. What's that? $6.30. So what does that do? That gets you down to, you know, $57. So it's not 63, and they have free shipping. There you go. 8 inches overall, 4.84 closed, 3.2 inch blade. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the particulars. Get out my trusty caliper, and 13.5, 0.53, blade stock 0.13. Is it really 3.2? This one's saying 3.3, so we're close to that, what they're saying. Overall, is that a 3.2 inch blade? Well, depends on where you measure it. That's 3.5 there, 90 millimeters. Now, go up here. Okay. The absolute shortest distance from the tip to that bolster, that is correct. And more like about 85 or even really 82 millimeters. 8 inches over row and about 20.5 centimeters. So, I mean, really, if you're going to talk about cutting edge, though, what are we talking about? Because right here, it's not 3.2, it's about 3.15, something like that. So a little over 3 inches of cutting length. And then you got this big cutaway there, kind of a choil area. That's good for sharpening. Also can get you up front where you can really get with your work on that. So not bad there. It's not contoured, they're flat scales and kind of just your standard Torx hardware in here. Looks like number 6s, nothing here. That's a number 8. So when we take it apart, we'll find out if this is a D-shaped pivot. Hopefully it is, because you don't want to spin that if you put too much Loctite in here. But you know, there's your lockup. That's 35 to 40%, so that's pretty heavy duty. And up in here, we'll check it out, but it looks like they're nested. You know, the liners are nested inside the scale. So if you like that look, then this is for you. And it doesn't really matter much to me. I just want it to feel structural, and it does. There's your stop. So yeah, it's a pretty good little setup. I like the design. I don't know why, but it's kind of chunky and tall in here, you know. So that's kind of attractive to me. It fills the hand because it's got a little bit of dimension there. You know, that's over an inch tall. Yeah, not quite an inch and a half, but that's some stuff there. Here you go, about an inch and a half to there. Over an inch and a half at the furthest. So there's some north and south real estate involved in carrying it. But, you know, it gives you some depth here to hold on to. I think the ergos are pretty good. This pass-through is easy to get in there. Yeah, and disengage that lock bar just like that. And it's centered. I'm not getting any blade play or lock rock. Ergos, you know, this is kind of a funky thing here. I don't know why, but it doesn't let me get right up. It doesn't make me feel like I'm getting right up on it. This does. And this is my TS223 Monarch. But you'll notice here, this is a bit deeper. So it makes me feel like I'm sitting back behind this blade further, which, you know, gives a little bit more purpose to this right here, because then you can really get up, and then your second finger can really nest in there nice and comfortably. But this almost feels like I'm too far back when I'm operating a little bit. I mean, now I'm getting kind of picky, but that's where that is. Where the ergos are more neutral here, really pretty easy to deal with. Now, reverse grip, that's okay, because, you know, this is really giving me a hell of a guard here, and I still got my thumb on the pommel, so yeah, that's good. Overall, I like this knife. First of all, I like the fact that they offered blue as a color, and I like the red backspacers for some pop there. So yeah, I'm with it. And the weight is another issue that sorry I waited so late to get to this, but and if you can see that, it's 133 grams. Let's roll around to ounces. Got a little washout from the sun, not too bad though. 4.72, okay, that's neither here nor there. It's not terribly light, it's not terribly heavy. It's very addictive from this aspect of finger flickability, which is another big plus in my column. I mean, if it's got a fidget factor to it, so be it. That's nice. But I mean, you got this big old belly on this blade for slicing and that kind of thing. Yet this swedge coming down here doesn't make that tip all that delicate. It's pretty sturdy. Now, we can argue about the D2 steel. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, go to Sandvik, N690, some other true stainless for those people who live in wet climates and they don't want a semi-stainless steel. But, yeah, this is going around a lot. Not sure D2 is the way I'd want to go in the future. But slowly and surely, I think the Chinese guys will probably kick away from this and offer some other options. And some of them already are. Well, let's took it apart. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, that's easy. I don't think I've taken this apart before. So that was kind of a surprise. And we're going number 6 here, aren't we? Yes, we are. Number 6 is all the way. Pull it apart. And let's keep going down the row. Another one. Might be able to see beyond that what I'm doing here. And then let's just take the pocket clip as well while we're rolling. Whether I need to really or not, I don't know. And it feels like it's kind of giving up the ghost already. Okay, there's the pocket clip. And I think this is ready to come apart. Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. So, oh, whoa. Got a screw still in the body. Fell out. There it is on the table. Okay. So there's your scale. And it's, you know, I don't know if they injection mold it or whatever, but there it is. And it's available for the lock bar and to nest the liner, which is right here. And there's your D10 ball, and that actually looks ceramic. And it's pretty daggone clean. And you can see that's D-shaped, so goody good. And it's got its weight relieved in here pretty heavily all the way through. So, wow, okay. I'm impressed. And there we go. And let's see if we got ceramic bearings. You know, out in this light, they do look ceramic to me. And there you go, right there. Yeah, they do. I'm not 100% certain, but they do look dark colored. So, and here's your blade. And yeah, it's kind of a white lithium grease feeling material that's on here. There's your pivot, and that can come out the front there. And yes, it's D-shaped. And ooh, we got a nylon washer on there. And then there's your bearings, your nested liner there, and of course your back spacer, which will come right off. Okay. So not a problem there. All right. Just trying to figure out where that pocket clip comes into play, and yeah, I guess right through here and here. Okay, and I just lost my stop, and that's pretty heavy, so that's nice. Okay, we got it pretty much disassembled. Nah, I didn't take the screws off of here and pull this liner out, but you can see that it's got the back spacer here. These screws just go into these steel tubes that go across the other side. So there you go with that. Put a bearing in here, and we'll throw a little bit of lube into it. And it won't be that heavy, greasy stuff. This will be lighter. This is the KPL stuff that I work with most of the time, but not exclusively. And, of course, our pivot, which we'll throw through here. And I believe when we put this in here, then the flat side of that pivot will be down, so we will face that down for now. Put the blade back on right here, and in doing so, let's maybe let it just leak a little fluid right in and on this detent track here. Now, we need another bearing and just a little bit more go-go juice, which is plenty. And we'll plop this on, but we got to go with that D shape there. And we did, and we're good here as well, thank God. You can see the D shape on those. So you're not going to spin those tubes that go through the backspacer, which is nice. On the other hand, you got to fit them back into that D-shaped area where they were. Now, oh crap. One little oversight here. Didn't put my little blade stop back in. Let's do that. Back on, boys. Okay. And we're settled back in here. So we got it all locked down. We're going to have to put our scale over the top. And let's throw this in. It's always the stop pin for me. I swear to God, it's the blade stop every time. Let's throw some screws in here. Those two screws out there are a bit longer. They look like a bit longer. And they go to the pocket clip here. All right. So we got body screws. We need to put them on the lock bar side. Another one. And then, of course, let's see how that feels. Okay, good. We got to throw our pocket clip back on here, which will fit right there and there. Not sure the long and the short. The long, obviously, there would go into that tube. So you want to take the longer one, put that there, and the shorter one here. Okay. Let's get you in for the win, and yeah, we're good. We're flush there, and I think this one just has to go through the pocket clip and into this spacer. So yeah, we're good, and we're locked down, and these are tight, yeah, adequately. Okay, so here we are. We centered. Yeah, we are. How are we for action? Did we get too brutal on it, or we got drop? No, we got drop. We got any play? No, no play. And we're centered. So that'll work. All right, back together. Everything's fine as wine. And the Screamer, it's in a price range that a lot of people are playing in. Does it seem to me, and where's your balance point, that it's in there with them? Yeah, pretty much. Like the Bestech G10 knives, that kind of thing. You might be able to snatch some G10 knives from other sources, somewhat lower price here and there. So this is going to be one of those things that you're going to have to decide on your own. I mean, from my standpoint, it feels fine. Fit and finish is good. And it's right in there with most of the others. Bestech makes really good ones. I love my Paladin, my Swordfish. It's really hard to beat. A lot of their G10 line. Civivi's really, really nice too. And then, of course, Artisan has the CJRB. So, but I'd say this is in there with most of them. Relatively competitive, and definitely has a nice design to it. So that's really cool. I'm going to leave you with it. Thank you so much for joining me. Beautiful day out on the patio. And you guys, you know what we do around here. We love them knives. So you stay sharp.